NIhao from Wes
and Amy's Kitchen. Today we're making 韭菜盒子 or Chinese Chive pocket. It's a traditional, really common food in northern China.
So the dough can either be leavened or unleavened, but we prefer a leavened one for the slightly softer, chewy texture that you're going to get in the finished dish.
So we need 2 cups of flour, 2 grams of salt, 2 grams of yeast, and then you add a little bit of vegetable oil and enough water to bring it together.
Depending on your flour that you're using, depending on that day, the humidity, you might have to adjust how much water you use. So you're going to want to keep adding just a little at a time, just enough to get it to come together.
That's why I like doing it by hand, but of course you can use a stand mixer too.
When you're done kneading it, your dough is going to still be slightly stiff, and you're going to need to rest it for at least 30 minutes.
Now for the 韭菜, after you wash it, you can chop it very fine.
This particular batch of jiucai was from a friend's garden. They picked it themselves that morning and delivered it that afternoon. So jiucai is really common in the stores here. Elsewhere, it could be labeled as garlic chives, Chinese chives, Asian chives, anything like that. But what you're looking for is its distinctive flat leaf, and the flavor of jiucai is actually closer to garlic than it is to traditional chives.
韭菜 is commonly paired with eggs, and that's what we're making our fillings with today. We're just going to scramble some eggs.
So to the chopped jiucai, you're going to add some oil, a little soy sauce, and just a little bit of salt. Then take the eggs that you scrambled earlier and mix them together. Now your filling is ready.
Now back to the dough. You can see after a rest, the texture is much softer. Knead it until it gets a smooth surface.
Now you're going to want to divide the dough in half and roll it out. So you see Amy rolling it out here. You're going to look for a roll that's about 4 to 5 centimeters wide, or about an inch, inch and a half. Now you're going to cut your roll into about 3 centimeters or 1 inch long pieces or so. Here the length of that you cut it is going to determine how big you can roll it out later.
And we'll smash it down into roughly a round shape and then roll it out into a thin disc. Now I'm going to stuff the pockets. I like to fill it as much as possible, so when you give it a bite in the end, it's really satisfying.
Yeah, so you see Amy here filling it and just leaving only a little room around the edge, and that's just enough to crimp it together and turn it into a half moon shape. They're pan-fried in batches on low heat for about 3 minutes on each side, or until you get a light golden brown color. You also want to cover them.
Traditionally, it's served alongside Chinese black rice vinegar as a dip.
So making Jiucai Hezi is a bit of work, but it's really worth it.
We hope you enjoyed the video.
Be sure to tap the logo below to subscribe.